Alright everybody, and welcome to episode 34 on the ManniCraft server with Black Dog Z. Alright, so as you can see, we got a couple of items in our inventory today. Not too terribly much. We have our battery, we have some conduit here, and we have our aqueous accumulator, some water buckets, and a block of iron. Now, I think earlier I had showed you how to use what's it called again? Let me just take a look here. It's in here somewhere. One of these, a Wrath Igniter. Now, a Wrath Igniter, in case you didn't get that episode, if we just type it in here, looks like when we were testing, we forgot to take it out of cheat mode. I was on a single player server just testing out a few things. So a Wrath Igniter here is just made out of a diamond shard and a nether brick. Now if you take a look here, we do have our packet maker, and of course we made a bunch of diamond shards, and I actually made a Wrath Igniter with one of those. Now what a Wrath Igniter is used for is it's used for a couple of different things, but the main thing we're using it for right now is lighting. If we actually go over here and look up in the sky, you'll see these lamps, and I got a couple of them placed around just for some additional light, and these are called wraith lamps or wrath lamps. Now, they're kind of a pain to make. You need blocks of iron, and of course with GraviTech installed, we have to use a compressor to get these. And then you're going to want to set these down. Now, when you're setting them down, make sure you do not put it in an area that's flammable. As you can see, we're completely surrounded by stone, so we don't have to worry about lighting things on fire. And the reason for that is because this works like a flint and steel. The difference is, once you light it, you can't put it out. So you just got to wait for it to burn out on its own. And this is highly flammable, hurts a lot more than regular fire. And when it's done, it's actually just going to change into regular fire. So we're just going to wait for that to happen. And as you can see, it's cooking up our iron into dark bricks. And once it's done, you'll see it's turning into regular fire now. We just got to wait for the dots to disappear. And then we put out the regular fire. And this is why you don't want to do this around anything flammable, because it will catch it on fire. So then we'll go ahead and dig these back up. Alright, so we now have 9 bricks of dark iron. So now if we go like that, we'll get dark iron ingots. And you get 4 from each block. So as you can see, 9 blocks times 9 was, 9 times 9, 81 iron. Turned into 36 dark iron. Now what we do with the dark iron is we go inside and we're going to make some more lamps. Because as you can see, there's still a few areas we need to light up. But like as an example, this torch here, not really needed anymore. Because there's actually there's actually one of those light things right above my house. But I like to leave the torches in front of the house just because they look good and they tell me where I am. Alright, so once we come inside, we'll go in here. The first thing we need to do is take our dark iron and just put it in each corner. We take our glass and we put it there. We put silver on the top and bottom. Once we do that, we put our Wrath Igniter in the middle. Now this will use some of the Wrath Igniter every time we make one of these. So we're just going to make 3 for now. We're just going to leave everything else in there because we might need more of these. So now what we're going to do, we don't have any blocks on us. Let's grab some dirt, I guess. Dirt's probably the way to go. Alright. And we're just going to go up here. Whoops. Alright, now this is left over from something I was trying, so let's just get rid of it. Because it's not really needed. And then what we're going to do is we're actually just going to take a wrath lamp and we'll put it right there. And then we'll dig that out. And that'll just light up the entire area. So if we take a look down there, that's now lit. Everything around here is lit. Even in the front of the building, as you can see, over on this side. And of course there's some torches still, so it's hard to tell. We have another one up there. And so now just go ahead and dig this down. We've got a couple more places that we want to put one. That grew grass already, wow. So another place that I've been wanting to put one is actually just right here on the front of this building. So let's just go ahead and do that. Well, can't quite reach, so we're just going to have to dig up a little. By dig up, I mean place dirt. And actually, what that'll do is that'll provide both light on top and in front of the house. So we won't have to worry too much about spawns. Now we just got one other place where we want to put one, which is back here. You'll see that I'm putting it at a fair height, and the reason for that is because it lights up a large area. So as you can see, all the way down, it's fully lit. Now the thing about these wrath lamps is that they are such huge areas that it's really hard to decide where to put them, because you really just want them hanging out in the middle of the air, but floating items are not always great. So I'm probably going to build some towers for these, or connectors. How did you get there? So yeah, as you can see, I'll probably have to build some more of those later on, but for now, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and just head on up to the area I was working on so that you can see what's going on. This is going to be our new home for bees and different things like that. We might put other things up here like crops. I haven't decided yet, but the reason we decided to go way up here was because I just thought it'd be cool to have a nice tall tower and a big area that we can work on. So I'm just climbing to the top of this. Alright. Now before I head up there, just to give you guys a scope of what exactly how big this place is, let's just go ahead and do that. So that big brown and gray area is this upper tower. So as you can see, it's absolutely massive, covers 8 chunks, and is absolutely huge. And of course uses a lot of wraith lamps that I built off screen to go ahead and light the area up. So as you can see, if we look down, you can see what areas are lit. And that's very well lit actually. I'm quite happy with that. So that should work nicely. As you can see, our area is slowly growing and flattening out. I still got to fix a few areas down there, but this is going to be probably our bee area. Now, I want to get some grass growing here. So let's get some bone meal. Oh, does this not work? Apparently it doesn't work. Alright. So we're going to need silk touch in order to get grass up here. But I don't think the bees really require grass, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, the next thing I wanted to do was I just wanted to put in an aqueous accumulator, but I don't know how far these golden pipes are going to reach. Is this my carpenter? It is. So now we're just going to go like this. Plop. Plop. So our aqueous accumulator is going to have to, well, I don't want it to be that close because I need to run piping for energy. And energy is probably going to go like this. So, and then we can take our redstone energy cell and just plop it right there. Now I currently don't have it set to output because I don't want these guys getting energy, but I think that's how we're going to run this particular area. So I'm going to want one more pipe just so that I can put my aqueous accumulator right there. And the reason for that is because we're going to have to put water around it. Now that means that I need to put dirt surrounding this whole system. Like so. And then I can take my water and I can actually, you know what? I'm going to dig up this machine first. We're we're just going to put a piece of dirt there. We're going to take our first bucket, we're going to put it there. Second bucket, put it there, which creates an infinite water supply. And then I will be able to, say, dig that out. And that way, I can take my aqueous accumulator and just put it right there. And now it's surrounded by water, as you can see, except it's not, because it doesn't accept water from its front face. Luckily, we have this guy. Apparently that doesn't work. So we'll dig him up. We're going to try placing him facing this way. I thought the crescent rammer would be able to change it, but apparently not. Now, is that going to give me what I want? Yeah, alright. So as you can see, you can now accept water from all three sides. It's very quickly filling up with water. 4 buckets worth. And now I can put a thing on there, and that should run perfectly fine. Alright, let's take the quick way down. I might take out a few of these to make it a little faster, because we don't need quite that many. Alright, so there is our aqueous accumulator. What else would we like to do today? We need to get another golden pipe, which I can grab right away. Oh, wrong one. I need over here. Do I have any more? Yeah, I do. Alright. Is there anything else we want while we're up there? Now, I've already transferred all my bee materials. If you take a look here, all that's left is this beeswax, which is actually used down here anyway. Okay, so that should be good. Should be able to head upstairs. Now, we've only got 2 apiaries to start. I will let you know that we were running around killing things in our killing area, and apparently some towns had spawned in there. Now, they were very dangerous towns, mind you, because it's eternal night. But we did manage to find a couple of guys that had apiaries, and so I picked up 2 apiaries and a couple extra bees from queens that he had. They're probably crossbreeds, because you never know with what's in the apiaries what you're going to get. So we'll have to double check those out and see if they have any qualities that we want to breed into other bees, because we're going to do something a little different than most bee breeding. We're going to try to get the qualities that we want. We don't care about a specific type of bee or anything like that. What we want is specific qualities in a bee. Alright, so we've got that. Now we should be able to go ahead and turn the power on. And I don't know if this is going to constantly absorb power or what. So let's take a look. So as you can see, it's not using any power. So as long as it's not being used, it shouldn't use any power. Now I do have to do some squeezing, but for now we're just going to go to our centrifuge after we stop over here. That's bees, this is bee products. We're just going to grab our honeycombs. We're going to toss those in the centrifuge. Now these are parched combs, so you get something a little different from these guys. You get beeswax and honey drops from parched combs, whereas these are honeycombs. Well, don't always get beeswax, apparently. Oh, we got 2 beeswax from that one. Alright. So now we go ahead and put honeycombs in, and you'll see the difference here. Honeycombs, I do believe, just produce honey. Oh no, they produce beeswax as well. Alright, maybe we didn't get what the parched combs actually produce. Let's take a look, actually. So if we just type in parched, we see we have the parched comb here. And I should be able to take a look. In a centrifuge, yeah, you just get beeswax and honey drop. Whereas in the honey, in the honeycombs, you get 90% beeswax, beeswax and 90% of a honey drop. So what was the, if I go parched, was there a percentile on this guy? Oh, they're pretty much the exact same. I don't really notice a difference there, but as you can see, we got 11 honey and 11 beeswax. It took a little bit of our battery, not very much, to do that. and allowed us to get some additional items that we needed. So now I do have 2 apiaries, so we're actually going to go ahead and set these down. And I think we're going to start over here. Let's find out where we need to go. We're in extreme jungle, we're in beach. Really? Oh shit! Can we hit the water? Yes! Luckily, that's such a long fall that we have a pretty good chance of hitting the water. I think I have to head further back. Alright, you want to be careful with falling there because that can definitely be dangerous. Which is why we have the raised area, and I probably shouldn't have jumped up on it. But I didn't die, and that's a good thing. As you can see, I've already died quite a few times building this. So, I'm not too happy about having to die while I'm up here. All I wanted to do was place these guys. Alright. Now I'm just going to hit F3. Beach, plains. Alright, so apparently just this very corner is plains. So we're probably going to set up an apiary here and an apiary here. Alright, so we've got a couple of apiaries, and that will allow us to breed and such. Now, of course, we will have to get some flowers and things. That's something I will do off screen. But let's go ahead and take a look at a few of our bees here, shall we? We'll grab our beealyzer and our 29 honey drops. As you can see, we have a lot of bees. So let's grab our queens that we managed to get a hold of. So we got a couple of queens. Most of them are going to be tropical queen. Most of the queens that we got will probably be crossbreeds. But as you can see, we got lots of various drones. Most of which are still unknown at this point because we haven't actually looked at them. So let's go ahead and do so. We'll grab our beealyzer, take our honey drops and put them in there. And first we'll do this tropical queen. So of course she's tropical. She likes jungle flowers, which is actually vines. She is poisonous, so you kind of got to watch out for that. Alright, so as you can see, she likes a warm climate. So she'll probably have to be over in the jungle that we have. She likes a damp humidity. She doesn't have a very good humidity tolerance, but she does have a somewhat of a temperature tolerance, which is okay. Which means she can go to normal. So as long as we can get rid of this humidity, she'll be able to work okay. If we take a look, she makes these combs, which I think are a jungle comb. We don't know what possible mutations there are. And we'll see here that she has a bunch of different information about her. Alright. Let's take a look at another one. Our marshy queen this time. So as you can see, she's a marshy. She likes mushrooms. Alright, so there's nothing else really amazing there. Normal, but she likes it damp, but she's okay with going down one. That's alright. She's not nocturnal, she's not a flyer, and she's not a cave. And of course she produces that kind. Alright, let's take a look at our forest queen. This is probably going to be our first one that we use. She needs flowers, so we'll have to get some generic flowers there for her. She's got good fertility. And her area effect is normal. Nothing special there. She's got dominant traits, normal, which I do like. Although she's got no temperature tolerance. That means that she can't go to a humid area, she can't go to an outside climate area. She produces regular honeycombs. Our Meadows bee, probably our favorite one. Again, she likes flowers. She's not quite as fertile as, say, the forest queen, but that's alright, we can fix that. We got normal for temperature and humidity with no give and take there. And again, she produces those. So we'll see here that the Meadows Queen is the slowest worker with a shorter life, slowest worker, shorter life, slower worker, and only a short life. So the Tropical Queen is one that we're going to want to breed in to some of our forest, meadows, and marshies so that we can get what we need from her. So now we're probably going to have to build some additional apiaries in order to make sure that we get that taken care of. So now, who do we know here? We know you already. We know you already. We know you already. And we know you. Alright, so we know these four. These drones and princesses. They're just regular meadows, all of them. And we'll probably be using those. So let's go ahead and grab a meadows princess and a meadows drone. You know what? Let's grab both meadow princess and meadow drones. And that's where we will start. Just by breeding these guys together. So we put our meadow princess there. And hang on, I want to grab something here. We want frames. So we're actually just going to start with an untreated frame. It should be around here somewhere, right there. We do have another untreated frame, and we have a proven frame. Proven frames are the longest lasting, but unfortunately, they're hardest to get because you have to get them from the people, like the guys who sell stuff. So we'll go ahead, we're going to take our proven frame, sorry, our untreated frame, we're going to put it in there, and we'll add our meadows drone to that. And as you can see, she's perfectly fine, except she's going to need flowers, and it's not currently daytime. So that's something that we'll have to fix. Basically wait till day, and we have to get her some flowers because she's gonna want that once she becomes a queen. So let's go ahead and get her some flowers. Now she doesn't need very many flowers, which is kind of nice. She just needs a couple, and I do believe I have some in the house. Ow. Just got shot by a skeleton. Alright, so if we take a look, we got some flowers right there. Sorry about that, everybody. And we're going to go ahead and grab those. We're also going to grab these lily pads because we're going to need those. And I think that's all we'll grab for now because that should be enough to get us started. Spider. I just ran underneath them. Now my dog's barking at something. Alright. She'll do that sometimes. Nothing to bark at, but she'll bark anyway. We're going to go ahead and end the episode right away as soon as we get our flowers down. So you guys aren't going to see the end point of these bees. But needless to say, it's only going to produce regular bees for the most part. If we get a mutation, I'll be sure to save it so you guys can see what's going on. Now, over the next couple episodes, we're probably going to be off and on bees and probably a little bit of Thaumcraft. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to name the episode with what it is. So if you don't really want to watch bees and you want to watch the magic, you'll know which one it is. Now the reason we grabbed the lily pads wasn't for anything special. It was just actually to put here. And that way I can just walk over top of the water without having any issues. And of course this still counts as water being there, so it doesn't care. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some flowers here. And we're just going to plant 2 flowers right there. Now, as you can see, we have our queen. She's not happy that it's not daytime. But we're also going to put our princess and this guy in here. And we'll get her another frame. Now, it's always best when you're breeding bees to use frames. And the reason for that is because the frames will make sure that you get better products and things like that. So why not? because the products are what you really want. So now, as you can see, she's not happy that it's not daytime. It's going to take a while to become daytime, and so we're going to have to wait for that. So if you have any questions or you have any suggestions about bees, feel free to give me a shout in the comments or send me a message. The plan is to go over some bee stuff here right now, and then go over some Thaumcraft probably next episode, and we'll show you what mutations, if any, we got on the bees. Alright, well, have a good evening.